As many had anticipated, based on the Yankees' years of domination over the Twins, this division series was merely a formality. The Yankees got an easy 5-1 victory at Minnesota's Target Field on Monday, finishing off a 3-game sweep of the Twins and earning a spot in the American League Championship Series. Now it's up to the Houston Astros to get there as well, to set up the star-studded matchup that both teams have been talking about all season. Everything clicked for the Yankees on Monday. Luis Severino, whose 12 regular season innings were the fourth lightest workload for a postseason starter in Major League history, according to the Elias Sports Bureau, did not appear rusty. He threw 4 scoreless innings, twice escaping from self-induced jams, and struck out 4 batters. That, combined with 5 effective innings from a parade of Yankees relievers, was enough to outduel Jake Odorizzi of the Twins, who gave up just 2 runs in 5 innings before giving way to Minnesota's bullpen. Gleyber Torres got the Yankees started with a homer in the second inning. Brett Gardner provided a run-scoring single in the third and Didi Gregorius drove in Torres with a sharp single in the 7th. The Yankees then tacked on a pair of insurance runs in the 9th by way of a Cameron Maybin home run and an RBI single by Gregorius. Torres, who had 3 extra base hits, said he had a simple formula for success in big games. "I just try to be confident," he said. "Try to be focused and do my job and help my team." With the loss, Minnesota has now lost 16 consecutive postseason games and has not won a playoff game at home since 2002. Both the Twins and Yankees seasons were largely defined by home runs, as Minnesota set a major league record with 307 and the Yankees finished just behind them, at 306. But after they combined to score 24 runs in the first 2 games of the series, Monday's game was a somewhat quieter affair, decided largely by the Yankees' ability to keep the Twins' bats quiet. Minnesota's lone run came on a homer by Eddie Rosario to lead off the bottom of the 8th inning. The only drama for the Yankees came when Zach Britton, one of the team's key relievers, was forced out of the game with an ankle injury with 1 out in the 8th, requiring Aroldis Chapman to come in for a 5-out save, his first appearance of more than 1 inning since June 25 of last season. Chapman allowed a single and a walk but was otherwise dominant. The Yankees will now wait for the result of Thursday's decisive Game 5 between the Astros and the Tampa Bay Rays to know who their opponent will be for Game 1 of the ALCS, which is scheduled for Saturday. It ended fairly quickly for Minnesota. Sergio Romo got off to a good start in his second inning of work by retiring Edwin Encarnacion on a grounder to third, but then he began to unravel. Cameron Maybin hit a 348-foot homer to left, and Gleyber Torres doubled before stealing third with no throw. Gary Sanchez walked and manager Rocco Baldelli had seen enough, pulling his veteran reliever for Trevor May, who promptly allowed a run-scoring single to Didi Gregorius. May then struck out both Joe Urshela and DJ LeMahieu to end the half inning. 3 more outs were not nearly enough for the Twins to erase a 4-run deficit with Aroldis Chapman on the mound. The Yankees closer allowed a 2-strike leadoff single to Marwin Gonzalez and walked C.J. Cron, but that was all Minnesota could muster. Chapman struck out Max Kepler on 4 pitches, getting 3 consecutive sliders past Minnesota's leadoff batter, got some serious help on a diving catch by Gregorius on a liner by Jorge Polanco, and finishing things off by freezing Nelson Cruz with a 99.4-mile-per-hour fastball for a called strike 3, and the ball game, and the series. There's a little life in the Twins. Sergio Romo got the crowd in Minnesota fired up with a 1-2-3/8 inning, getting all 3 Yankees hitters to hit balls in the air that found their way into gloves. Then Eddie Rosario brought it to a frenzy with a 412-foot leadoff home run to center field to start the bottom half of the inning. Zach Britton settled down quickly, retiring Mitch Garver on a grounder to short, but then had to leave with an ankle injury, setting up Aroldis Chapman to attempt a 5-out save. Chapman had not been asked to throw more than an inning since June 25 of last season. The first 2 of the 5 outs came easily enough. Chapman got Luis Ariz to line out to right and escaped the inning when Miguel Sano struck out on a 99.8-mile-per-hour fastball. The Twins have one more inning to keep their season alive. The Yankees have a 3-0 lead, that thanks to the team's bullpen, feels even bigger. Minnesota left its closer, Taylor Rogers, out for a second inning and he immediately gave up a leadoff double to Gleyber Torres. Rogers battled with Gary Sanchez in a 10-pitch at-bat that ended in Sanchez striking out swinging on a 94-mile-per-hour fastball. But the next batter, Didi Gregorius, attacked Rogers's first pitch, sending it into right field and bringing Torres home for a 3-0 lead. Rogers recorded to induce an inning-ending 5-4-3 double play from Joe Urshela, but he'd put his team in a deeper hole. Chad Green allowed a single to C.J. Cron in the bottom half of the inning and was quickly replaced by Zach Britton. Britton retired Max Kepler on a fly out to right and then the former closer got the second out by way of a close play at first where DJ LeMahieu, stretching for a throw from Torres, just barely got his foot on the bag before Jorge Polanco arrived. Britton threw a wild pitch that sent Cron to third base but then induced a comebacker from Nelson Cruz that ended the inning. There was no scoring in the sixth but the Twins came close on a few deep fly balls. With their season on the line and time running out, the Twins started the top of the sixth inning with their closer, Taylor Rogers, on the mound. The left-hander did his job, striking out Brett Gardner on a slider in the dirt, retiring Edwin Encarnacion on a pop-up to first and ended things by getting Giancarlo Stanton to ground out to third. Rogers threw as many as 2 1/3 innings in an appearance this season, and 5 times was allowed to throw 30 or more pitches, so he could theoretically stay in the game longer than a typical closer. Chad Green, who was one of the Yankees' top relievers late in the season, started things off in the bottom half of the inning by striking out Mitch Garver but then allowed a double to the wall by Luis Ariz. Green nearly got himself in big trouble when Miguel Sano hit a deep ball to right, but Aaron Judge used every bit of his 6'7" frame to catch a ball that appeared headed for the wall, securing a second out. Green then got out of the inning on a warning track shot to right by Marwin Gonzalez that landed in Judge's glove. It took a parade of relievers but the Yankees are through 5 innings with a 2-0 lead. Jake Odorizzi was dominant in the top half of the fifth. He retired Joe Urshela on a fly ball to center, got DJ LeMahieu to ground out softly to the catcher and finished things off by inducing a fly out from Aaron Judge. The entire half inning took Odorizzi just 9 pitches, but his day appears to be done based on the hugs and high fives he was receiving in the dugout. The bottom half of the inning went much slower. The Yankees replaced Luis Severino with Tommy Connell and Connell allowed a leadoff single to Jake Cave. Max Kepler hit a screaming out to center and Jorge Polanco softly flied out to shallow left, and that was it for Connell who was replaced by Adam Ottavino in anticipation of Nelson Cruz coming to the plate. Ottavino walked Cruz on 4 pitches, failing to get his devastating slider into the strike zone, and manager Aaron Boone made a switch to Chad Green. The aggressiveness worked, as Green got out of the inning thanks to a nifty defensive play where a sliding Gleyber Torres got to a ball in shallow right field and DJ LeMahieu made a nice play to catch Torres's throw at first. With Severino's day officially done, it is safe to say this was the best postseason start of his career, in quality if not quantity. He held the Twins scoreless through 4 innings, allowing 4 hits and 2 walks while striking out 4. He threw 83 pitches, 52 of which were strikes. If Odorizzi is done as well, he was good but not quite good enough. He allowed 2 earned runs over 5 innings, allowing 5 hits and striking out 5. After some drama in the second and third innings, the fourth was awfully uneventful. But the Yankees might be dipping into their bullpen going forward. Giancarlo Stanton got his first hit of the series by way of Max Kepler having positioned himself far too deep in center only to have Stanton's soft fly ball land in front of him. Stanton's time on base did not last long, as Gleyber Torres grounded into a 6-4-3 double play that zipped around the infield at lightning pace. Gary Sanchez singled on a liner to left but Jake Odorizzi got the Twins out of the inning by striking out Didi Gregorius with a high fastball that made the Yankees shortstop look foolish. Luis Severino retired Luis Ariz on a grounder to short, struck out Miguel Sano on 7 pitches and got some help from DJ LeMahieu, who snagged a liner down the line by Marwin Gonzalez to end the inning. Severino is up to 83 pitches, which is his highest total of the season, and with activity in the Yankees bullpen, his day is likely done. Luis Severino has the Yankees leading by 2-0 after 3 innings, and the only question is how long he can stay in this game. Leading off the top half of the inning, Joe Urshela lined a ball to left that a diving Jake Cave could not quite corral. The ball skipped all the way to the wall, but Urshela pulled up at second for a double. He advanced to third on a groundout by DJ LeMahieu, and after Aaron Judge struck out looking on a low four-seamer, Urshela raced home on a chopper by Brett Gardner that shot past Miguel Sano at third base. Jake Odorizzi got out of the inning when Edwin Encarnacion flied out to center, but not before he had put his team in a 2-0 hole. Luis Severino again flirted with disaster. With 2 outs and 2 runners on base, both via single, Severino got out of the jam by striking out Mitch Garver with a 98-mile-per-hour fastball. Severino is up to 66 pitches. The most he threw during the regular season was 80. The Yankees have a 1-0 lead, and absolutely no one should be shocked that it came via home run. But the story of the inning was Luis Severino wriggling out of a self-induced jam in the bottom half of the inning. With 1 out in the top half of the inning, Gleyber Torres had gotten the scoring started by lining a ball 376 feet to left center, just clearing the outstretched glove of Jake Cave. The Twins challenged Torres's first career postseason homer, saying there had been fan interference, but Gary Cederstrom, tonight's home plate umpire, confirmed the dinger. The Yankees did absolutely nothing else against Jake Odorizzi. Leading off, Giancarlo Stanton took a pair of mighty cuts before meekly waving at strike 3. After Torres's home run, Gary Sanchez popped out to shortstop and Odorizzi got out of the inning when Didi Gregorius grounded out. Staked to a lead in the bottom half of the inning, Severino immediately allowed a screaming double off the right field wall by Eddie Rosario. He walked Mitch Garver on 5 pitches and then gave up a single to Luis Ariz that loaded the bases with no outs. That brought up the powerful Miguel Sano, who, on the 8th pitch of a tense at-bat, skied an infield fly that was reeled in by DJ LeMahieu for the first out of the inning. Severino struck out Marwin Gonzalez with a vicious slider and then ended the inning by freezing Jake Cave on a slider. The Houdini act was impressive, but the Yankees are likely concerned that their fragile ace is already up to 45 pitches. It was an uneventful first inning as each team had one batter reach base, but there was never a real scoring threat. Jake Odorizzi got off to a strong start in the top half of the inning by striking out DJ LeMahieu on 4 pitches, blowing 3 consecutive four-seamers past the all-star infielder. Aaron Judge appeared to fly out but was awarded first base via catcher's interference, and he proceeded to get to second on a wild pitch. But Odorizzi recovered nicely, striking out Brett Gardner and getting Edwin Encarnacion to fly out to left to end the threat. Luis Severino was a bit shakier at first in the bottom half of the inning, but still put up a 0. He walked the leadoff batter, Max Kepler, on 5 pitches, and needed 7 pitches to retire Jorge Polanco on a soft fly ball to left. But then he induced a double play ball from Nelson Cruz that ended the inning. The Yankees will be trotting out the same starting lineup that generated 18 runs over the first 2 games of the series. DJ LeMahieu, 1B. Aaron Judge, RF. Brett Gardner, CF. Edwin Encarnacion, DH. Giancarlo Stanton, LF. Gleyber Torres, 2B. Gary Sanchez, C. Didi Gregorius, SS. Joe Urshela, 3B. The Twins, going against a right-hander, will go with the same lineup they used in Game 2. Max Kepler, CF. Jorge Polanco, SS. Nelson Cruz, DH. Eddie Rosario, RF. Mitch Garver, C. Luis Ariz, 2B. Miguel Sano, 3B. Marwin Gonzalez, 1B. Jake Cave, LF. Much has been made of the Yankees' starting rotation being bolstered by the return of its ace, Luis Severino. But there is some risk inherent in having a pitcher who is still working his way into shape being counted upon to anchor a team. Severino did not face major league hitters until the Yankees' 152nd game of the year, and got just 12 innings over 3 starts. According to the Elias Sports Bureau, Severino's regular season workload was the 4th lightest by a pitcher asked to make a postseason start. Virgil Trucks holds the major league record with just 5 1/3 regular season innings before starting 2 World Series games for the Detroit Tigers in 1945. Severino pitched well in those 12 innings, with a 1.50 ERA and 17 strikeouts, and he was terrific for most of the 2018 season. But there is also the matter of his rocky postseason resume. The 25-year-old has started 6 playoff games and has gotten past the 5th inning in just one of them. Perhaps the lowest moment of his career was the 2017 wild card game against the Twins, when he was pulled after allowing 4 hits and a walk before recording a second out. When asked about that performance on Sunday, Severino showed a sense of humor by smiling and saying, "I don't even remember that." Severino will be going up against Jake Odorizzi, who is charged with ending Minnesota's record streak of 15 consecutive losses in playoff games. Odorizzi would seemingly be the ideal man for the job, considering he allowed 3 or fewer runs in all but one of his 13 starts after the All-Star break. The only problem? The lone exception was a disaster of a start against the Yankees on July 24 in which he allowed 9 runs in 4 innings. It should be no surprise that there have already been 6 home runs hit over the first 2 games of the series, as they are the only teams in Major League history to surpass 300 homers in a season. But the batters will have their work cut out for them tonight, as Odorizzi allowed a home run in just 2.4% of plate appearances this season, and while Severino did not allow a homer in limited action this year, he too gave one up in just 2.4% of plate appearances last year. On cruise control in this series, and just 1 game away from advancing to the ALCS, the Yankees could be forgiven if they are looking ahead a bit to a much-anticipated showdown with the Houston Astros. Houston might be even better than they were in 2017, when they engaged in a memorable 7-game ALCS against the Yankees, but earlier today the Astros offered a cautionary tale of getting too far ahead of yourself. After demolishing Tampa Bay in Games 1 and 2, they lost to the Rays, 10-3.